The Talking Mac podcast is sponsored by Sky Infinity Host at skyinfinityhost.tk, serving thousands of customers for their web hosting and domain name registration needs. skyinfinityhost.tk, a proud sponsor of the Talking Mac podcast. Coming up on this episode of the Talking Mac podcast, we're going to be pitting the Macintosh notebook line, the MacBook, MacBook Pro, and MacBook Air. We're going to be pitting them together to see which one is right for you. We're going to cater them to your needs right here on the Talking Mac podcast. Stay tuned.
Put your hands up.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Talking Mac podcast where we are always talking Mac. I mean always. Every episode we talk Mac. It just never changes. Well, that's the name of the podcast, Talking Mac. Phew. Well, welcome to all you first-time listeners and subscribers and of the likes and everybody else. Welcome to the podcast. We got a few changes coming down the pike. First off, we got some new segments that's going to be appearing in the extended episode, like the free Mac download of the week and the Mac tip of the week. And visit our new improved website, www.talkingmac.tk. There you can find the extended episode. You can download it, or you can play it right there in your browser, talkingmac.tk. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Sky Infinity Web Hosting, skyinfinityhost.tk, for sponsoring the Talking Mac podcast. Give them a visit. All right, now it's time for your Apple news. Apple news for this week gets interesting with stuff that could have been announced at Macworld that has not been announced. Apple released the iPhone in 16 gigabytes and the iTouch or iPod Touch in 32 gigabytes. Now, why didn't they release it at Macworld? Nobody knows. But the fact still remains that they're $499 for the 32 gigabyte iPod Touch and for the 16 gigabyte iPhone. This has been your Apple News. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be back right after this commercial break. Stay tuned. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Sky Infinity Host, for sponsoring the Talking Mac podcast. Now, to show our appreciation, we love our listeners to go to skyinfinityhost.tk for their web hosting and domain registration services. Now, these are top of the line with no setup fee, instant account activation, multilingual control panel, site management tools, fully featured email services, website statistics, 99% service uptime guaranteed, daily data backup, online documentation, 24/7 customer support, 1 hour support response time, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So do us a favor and visit their website, skyinfinityhost.tk. skyinfinityhost.tk. Come on, let's boogie. Come on. I see you out there in Macland. Let's play it again. Okay, alright. Well, we never want our theme music to end, but welcome back to the Talking Mac podcast. Alright. Have 6 minutes for the YouTubers to slam this all together. We're going to put in a notebook line from Apple, MacBook, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. We're going to be putting them together. So visit www.talkingmac.tk to listen to the extended episode. We're going to be going all into this. Plus, we're going to be talking about the free Mac download of the week and the Mac tip of the week. TalkingMac.tk. We have our new and improved redesigned website using iWeb. It's great. So visit there right now. All right, MacBook versus MacBook Pro versus MacBook Air. Now, a lot of people, I mean, these are just destined to get pitted against each other. Episode number 3, MacBook versus MacBook Pro. I think the guy's name was John, emailed me and asked me which one should I get, MacBook or MacBook Pro. Now, I went into everything there, and I'll go with it again in the extended version. But for YouTubers, let's go ahead and get it in right now. So the MacBooks basically they're for beginners up to intermediate level. The MacBooks. I mean, they're the Santa Rosa Intel Core 2 Duo chipsets are now being shoved into those laptops. They weigh around 5 pounds. They have a small 13.3-inch screen. And the MacBook Pros they all have Santa Rosa, start at 2.2 gigahertz and go up to 2.6 gigahertz. Start at $2,000. The MacBook start at $1,099, so $1,100. And the key difference is a couple of things. For the MacBook, it's the tiny screen, 13.3-inch screen. And I must mention the MacBook Air starts at $1,800 and has a 13.3-inch screen and a 1.6 gigahertz or 1.8 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor in it, and an option for an extra $1,000 for a 64 gigabyte solid state hard drive in there. So it begs to the question. There's 3 different factors that can change or alter your decision. First off, the MacBooks and the MacBook Air screen, 13.3 inches glossy. That's the only choice you got. If you're looking for a desktop replacement, obviously you won't want to be sitting there looking at a teeny tiny 13.3 inch screen. You know, it's just really small. 13.3 inch screen, that's not a desktop replacement. Most people have 20 inch, 17 up to 30-inch monitors at their desktop, and a 13-inch monitor is not going to be a 13-inch screen is just not going to cut the mustard for desktop replacement. We're talking about desktop replacement, and that's where the MacBook Pro comes in. 15 to 17 inches. That's something I will replace my desktop with. And plus the higher speeds. And the MacBook Air really shouldn't be a desktop replacement at all. I mean, 1.6 gigahertz to 1.8 gigahertz processor, that's really not speedy at all. I guess it should be faster than the older PowerBooks that were considered desktop replacement, but you know, nah. It's just not going to cut it. We know the downsides of the MacBook Air. We know no user replace RAM, no user replaceable hard drive, no user replaceable battery. You got to pay Apple for everything. You can't upgrade the RAM. You cannot upgrade the hard drive. You can only change out the battery, which you have to pay Apple to do because it is some kind of something in there. It's just funky. That's how they got it to 3 pounds. So MacBook weighs 5 pounds. MacBook Pro, we at 5.8 to 6.3 pounds for the 17-incher, and the MacBook Air, we are at 3 pounds. It's an ultra portable. Still has a 3.3-inch screen. Now here's where the point. Here's what's important. What are you using the laptop for? Are you using it for portability? You know, you have a desktop at home. You just need to you just need to fly to New York City or fly to Atlanta to come do your business meeting. All you need is a PowerPoint or keynote presentation. Then the MacBook Air would be great for you. Just shove it on there, you know, and there you have everything. It's just light, doesn't take up much space, it can fit on your airplane tray. It can be a great option. But the MacBooks, they weigh 2 extra pounds, but they give you a lot more features, and the MacBook Air does not have any kind of DVD or CD drive in it. Only one USB ports. It's just no FireWire. It's just really a stripped down laptop. That's how to get it to 3 pounds. Really nothing you could do with it except for just basic word processing and little web browsing and maybe a little IMing on the side. So our time is coming to a short here on YouTube, but visit www.talkingmac.tk, folks, where you can find the extended episode. Sometimes talk 30-40 minutes. It's just something great. You just, you know, put us on. You don't have to be worrying about watching the screen. Just put us on and do whatever else you're doing. And you can subscribe to iTunes and all that cool stuff over there. Even donate to our podcast. Donate, please. We need your contributions. Donate. There's a PayPal. It's all secure. You can donate to the Talking Mac podcast via PayPal. Just press the donate button beside the episode. It's really great. So, MacBook versus MacBook Pro. I'll go MacBook Pro. Now, we're going to dive way more into this in the Talking Mac podcast extended version. Go to talkingmac.tk for that. But for right now, MacBook Pro. Remember, talkingmac.tk, we're going to have the free Mac download of the week and the Mac tip of the week. And don't forget to visit our sponsors' website, skyinfinityhost.tk, and our website, talkingmac.tk. Remember, your mind is like a parachute. It will not work unless it's open, so think outside the box. Think different. Bye-bye, everybody.